for this youth. The glory of God, I just finished my 5 years coronation anniversary on the throne, and I practically myself designed the program over the last 10 days, in which over 70% of all the initiatives tailored around youth emancipation and empowerment. On the day I was coronated, 7th of January, 7th of December 2015, that day was the highlight of all the events in which I dedicated wholly to the youth of this country. I unpicked them all from the four corners of this country. And also to be associated with them. But one thing I realized is when you have youths that are angry, what is leading to their anger? Nigerian youths are hungry, and that's why they are angry. Saying it, keep saying it, we all have to do something about it. It is very important that we cannot leave everything to government. I thank the organized private sector, led by COVID. They're doing their best. But how close are they to the people? That's the point. And I thank government for their effort so far. But the reality is what we should face. It is what it is. There is recession in Nigeria. There's nothing anybody can do about it. These students have been home for several months. Their parents have not been doing anything. We have been on lockdown for a long time. No business activities. So the anger keeps growing. But we have to do something. Ingenuity things. We know that our economy and our population, in terms of our demography, is more than 70% driven by the youth. And it is getting wider and wider every day. They are growing up, and they are growing up on a daily basis. Will the system continue to look at them? A lot of them will say, what has the system done for them? What have they benefited from the system? It's about time for all of us to reinvent the wheel. As a traditional ruler, I am extremely close to my people. I know how they feel. I am always in their midst. And that's the reason why I am appealing to all and sundry that it is now a necessity. The way you eat, the way you live your normal life, it is now a necessity for you to have it at the back of your mind that I must empower the youth around me. It is a necessity. We cut down social activities. It is another necessity. And focus more on this youth. My major worry is we keep growing every day. They will take them back to school in January. We have between 7 and 10 million Nigerian youths that are in tertiary institutions. And they are still growing. The statistics are there from the last JAM. JAM has never seen such an influx of students, even WAEC and NECO, in the entire history of those institutions. And they will see more next year. And that's the truth. Keeps growing wider and wider every day. They will go back to school. You can all do the maths. On the average, every student will pay tuition fee of about 50,000 per student. On the average, that's about 500 billion that will go into that sector. The bulk of those students are of background from peasant farmers, petty traders, and basic, regular Nigerian parents. That is very difficult to see 50,000. Not to even talk of getting money to feed. And it is very obvious, bulk of this year we have been on lockdown. So how will they go out to go and do their petty trade? The frustration is growing day by day. On this note, I am appealing to each and every one of us that are strategically placed. Let us all join hands, close ranks, and reach out to our people, because they are hungry and they are angry. How will they go back to school when school is over? How are they going to go about this? And another important thing is, when they graduate, what are they going to do? Many years ago in this country, a lot of students, before they leave school, they've gotten series of jobs waiting for them. That is history in our dear nation. It is very important for us to start thinking for them now. It's a two-way approach. You want to send them back all to their schools so that there will not be idle hands that can erupt and get into another NSAS, which we don't pray for in our dear country. If we do that and they leave school, we're still coming back to the same thing. What are they going to be doing? So it's a double approach of how we need to think ahead, support government in what they are doing. I know government is trying their best, but how close are they to the people? That's the question I keep asking. And I know organized private sector are doing their best, but how close are they to the downtrodden, the lowest of the lowest in our their country? They must delegate. They just have to delegate. When is the last time they're in the midst of thousands of low-end people? That's the reason why, as a traditional ruler, I'm championing this, because there's still a missing link. I know they're willing to do it, but what are the strategy and measures for the finishing measures? The missing link and the missing gap is the disconnect between the willing and the low-end people in our their country. On this note, I am putting together education trust fund to support what government is doing aggressively, and also to support the organized private sector, different schemes that they have, and also to volunteer, to be championing how well it will reach the right hands. It is very important. That's the most important thing, to get to the right hands. That has always been the major impediment in different schemes that we're doing. But this time around, we will use what we have benefited from our ancestors as the co-chairman of National Council of Traditional Rulers in Nigeria, which is a very strong platform. We had all our kingdoms, and there are ways we can easily reach to our people. I'm using this to appeal to the right minds of this country that we are not all safe. Let empowerment be part of everything we'll be doing. Let us cut down our social activities and redirect some of our budgets to things that will make us have a peace of mind. You will leave this country and run out of this country to another country. Now we are all compelled to be the patriots and to be patriotic of our dear nation. You will be very afraid to go and live in the Western world because you know what is happening there. The pandemic is so high, so it's better for you to be alive and fix this country than to continue to run around and believe in your wealth. Let us balance the ecosystem. Let us balance in our best possible way our system in our dear country. And the only way we can balance it is to focus on this youth. Aggressive. On this note, this scheme is to be done over the next 4 years. Work on how to raise 500 billion every year, and everything will be very transparent, and every recipient will be accountable for, and every recipient will be accounted for. It's very important for us to stand up and use a great platform that we all have to benefit the lot of the demography of Nigerian youth. I'm a chancellor of the only Nigerian university called University of Nigeria, Nsukka. As the chancellor of University of Nigeria, Nsukka, I know what it feels and how the parents are groaning and yearning right now. It's about time for all of us to rise up. It is now very compulsory. It is now a necessity so that we can all live in peace. God bless the Nigerian youth of this country. God bless each and every one of us. We never and will not want to pray for what happened during NSAS. And above all, God bless our dear country, Nigeria. Thank you very much.
General Press, we have listened to Kabisi talk on the next line of this scholarship scheme. You know that Kabisi, whatever he does for the youth, it's not by accident. It is something that he has, he had pre-planned, even ever before he came on the throne, such that on the day of the coronation, he did deliberately dedicate the throne he was occupying, he was about to occupy, to the development of youth, not only in Nigeria but across Africa. And ever since then, everything he has done has always centered around youth development. Why he is so passionately interested in the youth, only God knows. But I said it often times that one, he, even though he's no longer the youth, we don't accept him as a youth any longer anyway. He's our father, but he still feels the energy of youth in his body system. Two, he joined the business world in this country as a youth, and so he faced a lot of challenges, and he then made up his mind that if God willing he gets to the top, he will use all energy and resources that God will be blessing him with to support the youth. Unfortunately, to now cap that dream, he became the Ooni of Ife and the king of the youth in Africa. Can we appreciate him for that? In line with the tradition of a short meeting like this, this is an interactive meeting between Kabisi and the gentlemen of the press, and the tradition would demand that we entertain few questions. Of course, we are open to as many questions as possible, but because of the time constraint, because I know that many of you want to quickly go back to the newsrooms so that we can have this news as today. Let me just entertain 4 questions. 2 from the print, 2 from the electronic media. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes. While Kabisi was making the address, one of our colleagues on a lighter note, called me and whispered that that it's just coming out. In fact, we have not yet come out of the 5th anniversary coronation ceremony. It's still ongoing until the final activity on Sunday. So the gentleman said to me that we learned that Baba is supposed to be resting today. And that, why is he here again? I said, well, he has refused to be tired. Even when the nature calls on him to get tired, he refuses to be tired, especially when it comes to the issue around the youth. Can we also appreciate him for that? And so, the question you asked me, I'm very sure you are asking to throw it as if he is in the best position to answer it. Let me start by calling the representative of the News Agency of Nigeria, who first showed interest in the questions you want to ask.
Is that print or electronics? Print. I'm asking.
Is that print or electronics?
I'm going to take 2. Wait, I'm going to take 2 from the print, 2 from the electronic. Then I will add News Agency of Nigeria to that.
One for national.
Let me start from News Agency of Nigeria.
If they want more question, don't mind him. At least I can overturn what he said.
Dr. Azelu Shokmo from News Agency of Nigeria. My question is that why is okay, sir. Okay, sir. As you stated it in your speech, sir, why is the exemption for those in private and state tertiary institutions? Why the exemption for that?
Well, we realize that for you to go to state and private, no, state is not exempted. It's private.
And state tertiary institutions.
No, there is no exemption for state.
Okay, sir.
Even tertiary institution, at times you might get there, private tertiary institution, your parents might be in business, can get stopped, or can get fired or retrenchment from their jobs. Do you understand what I'm saying? So none is exempted, none. But what we're looking at, an average is 50,000 per student, and we have quite a lot of them, and they're still growing. So none is exempted at all. But we have preference for the public institutions more. All right.
Are you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me now start from the electronic.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sir.
My question is
we want you to emphasize more on the mode of operation of this educational trust fund. I mean, the source of money and the payment for the youth and the students.
If you're asking me what's the source of money that I run the park, we're having activities for the last 10 days. If you have good intention in life, money will come. What we're designing now is good intention. A trust fund must be very transparent. Let me give you a good example. I tell our leaders, this NSAS, I learned so much from it. Every day, 11:50, they will upload account updates. All the youths that are here, are you not following?
Yes.
That is transparency to the highest order. So for us too, every penny we raise, we must upload electronically. Everything is driven by technology now. And all the recipients, we must upload for people to see clearly. So the source of fund can even come from you.
Yes.
Nothing is too small. In fact, I will collect money from you. I'll put it there. From your salary, if I say, I want you to take 50,000 and give to that trust fund, are you not going to give me? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So the money has started coming in. Because every time you come here with all your bosses from NT, I should help you solve this problem. So haven't I been solving it?
Yes.
Now time has come. I want to collect from you.
Let me take.
Oh, have I not answered your question?
You have answered, sir.
So drop your money before you go.
Let me take from Punch. Please, can you see your...
My name is Bola. I write for the Punch newspapers. Universities in the country have been under lock and key in the last 8-9 months. The federal government and NASU, they have been on endless negotiations, meetings. Nothing seems to be coming out. I want you to send message to federal government and the ASU on the need to end this strike and allow students to go back to school.
Well, it seems, please don't go. It seems you have not been following what we traditional rulers are doing. We came up with a communique and took it to the president. We locked ourselves for 2 days, non-stop, and we did a very powerful recommendation to Mr. President. ASU, federal government field, is on top priority. I, as the co-chairman, handed it over to Mr. President. I don't know whether you saw it in the media. And that's the reason we are following it up very well. So this negotiation is like a negotiation that will just end. We don't want them to come again and just strike again. No. But if you look at it, it is working in the favor of our country in the sense that there is this pandemic, but to the glory of God, it's going down in our country. So it is even helping the universities to do a lot of research within their system. But it's taking too long. So what I can assure you is we are not allowing both ASU and federal government to rest. We are we the traditional rulers are like lobbyists now. You know why? If they don't go back to school, we're all in trouble. They want to start another NSAS. Didn't you read it in the papers? How long will you continue to stop them? How long? So it's better for all of us for them to quickly go back. So it is a top priority. So I will advise you, I will tell Moses to give you the communique of every point we recommended to Mr. President, and I handed it over on behalf of all traditional rulers in Nigeria to Mr. President. So it is clearly stated there. All right? God bless you.
Florence Babashola lórúkọ mi láti ìwé ìròyìn Aláròyé. Lákòókò mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ kábíyèsí fún ẹjẹ́ kí n wà báyìí kábíyèsí. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ kábíyèsí fún nǹkan tí ẹ ṣe fún mi ní ọ̀sẹ̀ tó kọjá nípa ti ìwé tí mo kó jáde èdè Yorùbá lọ́nà ìrọ̀rùn tí ẹ rán kábíyèsí Aṣọ́yàwá pẹ̀lú aṣọ́yà.
Ẹgbà náà ayaláya ló máa ń ṣọ́ọ̀kì.
Pẹ̀lú comrade Moses Alapare tẹ̀rù
Mo
wá
tẹ̀ ti rí
sí.
fọ́tò kan nísìnyí tó ti ń ayaláya tó wò tó ti tó fẹ́ wò ó fẹ́ gbé lójúmọ́lẹ̀.
Tẹ̀rù wá sí Òṣogbo, wọ́n ṣojú ní dáradára, inú mi dùn.
Ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì eléyìí náà fún yín.
Wọ́n ní pé ẹ máa rán
ó ti ẹ̀dá báyìí gbà fún gbàdà. Ó ní ẹ bá mi parí ẹ̀ ká tọrọ ìpàdé. Gbà fún orílẹ̀ ní gbàgbọ́dà lóko ẹ̀yẹ yẹn dà o. Gbà fún ẹ tún máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ sí. Múrí ó ní gbàgbọ́dà. So ìfẹ́ ilé ìṣòro ẹ̀yin ní múrí báyìí o. Ilé làwọn báyìí. Èmi ní gbàdà ẹ̀fẹ̀ gbà lọ́wọ́ mi. Ó dàbẹ̀ màá gbé fún yín. Ẹ gbà lọ́wọ́ ìṣòro yẹn náà ẹ mú nǹkan fún
trust fund bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ṣé ká ṣètò yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀? Gbàfún múrí lé gbàfún gbàdà lóko ẹ̀yin ní gbàdà yìí múrí báyìí. Ṣé kò ti gé ra wọn wá?
Ìbéèrè mi, ẹ ti sọ̀rọ̀ púpọ̀ nípa wàhálà àwọn ọ̀dọ́ yìí. Ẹ ti bá àwọn ìjọba àpapọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀, ẹ dẹ̀ ti bá àwọn olókoòwò aládàáni káàkiri ẹ ti bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọ̀dọ́ yìí, ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí wọ́n tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìwọ́de. Mo fẹ́ kí ẹ gba àwọn ọ̀dọ́ nímọ̀ràn kábíyèsí nǹkan tí wọ́n lè ṣe nírú àkókò báyìí. Torí pé òkun ò kì í wó ruru kí ọ̀sà náà wó tó ṣe bí òwe níwájú kábíyèsí. Kí ni ìmọ̀ràn yín fún àwọn ọ̀dọ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ìwọ́de EndSARS ojoojúmọ́ yìí kábíyèsí?
Ìmọ̀ràn mi fún ọ̀dọ́ ni pé ká máa gbàdúrà fún wọn. Inú ń bí wọn, ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ tòótọ́ bí títò tó wà. Nígbà tẹ́ tí wọ́n mọ́lé wọn lọ léèwé wọn lọ bí kankan, wọ́n wá nǹkan fẹ́ máa ṣe fúnra wọn, ọwọ́ tó bá dilẹ̀.
Èṣù ń yálò.
Ó ti yẹ má jẹ́ sọ yẹn. Nítorí ìdí ìmọ̀ràn tó ṣe kókó jù ni ẹni tó ń kọ̀wé ìròyìn láti Punch tó ti sọ yẹn. Ká tètè rọ ASUU àti ìjọba àpapọ̀ kó padà kó sí iléèwé padà. Corona ti lọ, kì í ṣe bó ti lọ tán o, a sì nílò láti kíyèsára o. A mọ̀ pé Olódùmarè àbàwà kò lẹ̀ lọ a kò sọ pátápátá. Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá ti ń fi ọ̀dọ́ sílẹ̀ lé jù, ẹ̀yin náà mọ gbogbo ala lọ́dọ̀ lé o. Ọ̀dọ́ tí ẹ lè mí báyìí tí mo wà lórí ìtẹ́ yìí.
Kábíyèsí. Kábíyèsí.
Mo dẹ̀ mọ nǹkan tó máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ tí mi ò bá ti rí nǹkan ṣe. Mo mọ tí mo máa ń ṣe o. Ọwọ́ tó bá ti dilẹ̀. Torí ìdí èyí, a máa pẹ̀tù sí wọn nú ni o. Ẹ̀tù, ẹ̀rọ la máa pẹ̀ sí wọn nú o. Ẹ̀bẹ̀ la máa bẹ̀. Kí o sa agídí ò rán o. Agídí ò rán. Ọlọ́run kó ṣàánú wa ni. Ká má rí alájàndógún mọ́ ni o. Ọlọ́run kó ṣàánú fún wa. Ṣé mo tún máa alájàndógún? Ẹ lọ ṣèwádìí. Ọlọ́run ló gbé rí yọ ní ayé EndSARS yẹn o. Ọlọ́run Olódùmarè ló jẹ́ ká rí ìjà alájàndógún mọ́ o. Pẹ̀lẹ́.
Well, we also have a question from one of the Nigeria's biggest bloggers, who is known globally. She has raised to me a very good question, which I also want her to, ask her. Please, you can come up. Mrs. Abike alias Jagaban.
Ẹ ṣé àdúpẹ́ sà. A fẹ́ fi àkókò yìí a fẹ́ fi dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín púpọ̀ fún gbogbo akitiyan yín lórí gbogbo àwọn ọ̀dọ́ káàkiri orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Òótọ́ ni pé èmi ò gbé nílùú yìí, lóyìnbó lèmi ń gbé. Àmọ́ síbẹ̀ a rí gbogbo iṣẹ́ ribiribi tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń ṣe fún gbogbo àwọn ọ̀dọ́. A fẹ́ kí ẹ mọ̀ pé gbogbo àwa ọmọ ilẹ̀ káàrọ̀ jíire káàrọ̀ jíire táwa ní ìlú òyìnbó pé a rí gbogbo iṣẹ́ ribiribi tí ẹ̀ ń ṣe. Ẹ jọ wá lójú, a dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ nítorí pé nínú ìwé ìtàn àti rí ọba bíi títí rí tó gbìyànjú tó ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ iṣẹ́ tẹ̀ ń ṣe yìí lórí àwọn ọ̀dọ́ láti ìgbà tẹ́ ti gorí oyè àsìkò yín ó sọ àwọn ọ̀dọ́ ní púpọ̀ ẹ fún wọn ní nǹkan táwọn olóyìnbó máa ń pè ní encouragement and also hope for future and this ó múnú wa dùn gidigidi gan. So gbogbo àwa tá a wà nílùú òyìnbó náà a wá ń wo ọ̀nà tí a lè fi support course yín. Unfortunately mo pẹ́ débi ìbàṣọ mi ò mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ bọ̀ nípa díẹ̀ tí mo gbọ́ tí mo fetí kọ́ kó tó di pé àwa náà gbé sí orí afẹ́fẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ wa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni pé a rí pé ẹ ti ṣe oríṣiríṣi ètò lẹ̀ láti rí pé àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wọ́n gba ètò ẹ̀kọ́ tó péye nítorí ọjọ́ iwájú wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa sọ pé àwọn lè rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí olórí ìlú àwọn adarí ìlú which tí a ń pè ní leaders of tomorrow. Eléyìí dẹ́dùn mọ́ wánú rẹpẹtẹ wípé ẹ fún wọn ní kó pẹ̀jẹ́ kí wọ́n mọ̀ pé ọ̀la wọn á dára nígbà tẹ́yìn bá ṣì wà lórí ìtẹ́yìn. Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀. So nǹkan tí mo wá ń wò ń bẹ̀ yẹn ni pé a ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ tí wọ́n ti kàwé rẹpẹtẹ nílẹ̀ bá ṣe ń wí yìí tí wọ́n ti ní nǹkan tí wọ́n ń pè ní opportunity láti rí employment ìyẹn iṣẹ́. There's lack of employment hugely and ó affect wa gan gbogbo bá tẹ́ ṣe EndSARS yìí àti gbogbo bá COVID yìí a rí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ tí wọ́n ti kàwé tí wọ́n ti ṣetán nílé ẹ̀kọ́ àgbà wọ́n ṣe àṣeyege pàápàá pẹ̀lú first class nínú wọn pátá ni wọ́n wá sórí ètò wa tí wọ́n wá ń tọrọ owó pé àwọn ò níṣẹ́. Àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tí wọ́n jẹ́ teachers wọ́n sọ pé àwọn ń ṣiṣẹ́ àmọ́ níwọ̀n oṣù bíi 6-7 tí COVID fi wà round pé ọ̀hún sanwó oṣù fún àwọn ó jẹ́ kí gbogbo wọn wá máa béèrè fún àánú ní orí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára tá à ń pè ní social media pé ká ran àwọn lọ́wọ́ káwọn lè jẹ káwọn lè mú káwọn sì lè mú oúnjẹ délé fún gbogbo àwọn ọmọ wọn pàápàá. Eléyìí wá ṣe wá ó kọ́ wa lóminú púpọ̀ pé àwọn ọmọ wa ń kàwé lóòótọ́ a ti tún gbé ètò mi ilẹ̀ ẹ̀bẹ̀ ṣe Sunday by sin fún trust fund. We can support hugely there. We can raise the fund to be a part of it, but then ǹjẹ́ ẹ lè sọ fún wa bóyá tí wọ́n bá kàwé ìtàn ṣé àyè máa wà fún wọn láti rí iṣẹ́ ìyẹn gangan ló kọ́ wa lóminú pé ṣé àyè iṣẹ́ wà employment fún wọn tán bá kàwé tán lẹ́yìn ọdún 4 àbí 5 tí wọ́n bá lò nílé ìwé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga.
Ẹ ṣé wọ́n ní iṣẹ́ ayélujára ní ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ àbí eléyìí ju iṣẹ́ ayélujára lọ torí ò jẹ́ kí tọrọ ń dúró gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣáná kílẹ̀ tó kù sọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ṣé ìlú òkè ọ̀yàlẹ̀ tó lọ nísìnyí ṣé tún ṣe làálì ni eléyìí ń ṣiṣẹ́ ayélujára o ẹ ṣe ju iṣẹ́ yẹn lọ ẹ dàbí fashionista kọ́ ń ṣàníyàn torí ìgbà tá à ń ṣe ètò ńlá báyìí kẹ wá pẹ́ lẹ́yìn ìbéèrè tẹ béèrè a ti sọ ní tá à ń ṣe tá à ń gbé sílẹ̀ yìí kò ń ṣe ètò láti rán wọn lọ léèwé nìkan tó o bá lọ léèwé a tún máa jẹ́ kó o mọ iṣẹ́ wíwá mẹ́ kó o dá iṣẹ́ àdáni ẹni àwa la tún máa tá la máa tọ́ kó má dẹrùn nídìí fáwọn ọmọ ọ̀dọ́ yìí láti lè bá wọn wá iṣẹ́ torí àlàṣe ń kí gbàjáwìrì síta a ti sọ pé oko kan la fẹ́ fi pẹ́yẹ méjì láti jẹ́ kí wọ́n lè rí àyè sanwó iléèwé wọn àti pé tí wọ́n bá ń kúrò iléèwé ìtànfi lọ́lẹ̀ yìí a máa jẹ́ kán ní iṣẹ́ àdáni wọn àti pé láti lè darí wọn síbi tí wọ́n ti máa ríṣẹ́ ṣe ìyẹn ló ṣe pàtàkì jù fún wa jù nínú ìtànfi lọ́lẹ̀ torí pé pẹ́ lẹ́yìn ni ẹ ṣe gbọ́ gbogbo tá a sọ ó dàbí pé gbogbo ń tẹ́ ẹ̀ kú sọ́wọ́ lẹ lọ́ ń kú sọ́wọ́.
ẹ sọ fún wa pé tò wá.
ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ ẹ̀ tí mo bá rẹ̀ ẹ ṣe o ṣé a ti dáhùn ìbéèrè yín. ṣé a ti dáhùn ó yá kí ló tí ó béèrè.
àwọn èyí tí wọ́n wà nílẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí tí wọ́n ò níṣẹ́ báyìí tí wọ́n ti kàwé tán nílé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga ṣé kò sí.
òun náà là ń ṣe a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti fi ètò yìí lọ́lẹ̀ àti ìṣe lọ́wọ́ ara wa ṣùgbọ́n omi pọ̀ tọ́ka lọ a nílò ìrànlọ́wọ́ káàkiri àgbáláyé àwọn tó tiẹ̀ ti jáde tó ti kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ gboyè ó ní bá ṣe máa ṣe lórí ayélujára láti máa ṣe o tẹ́ ẹ bá wá sí gbogbo ọdún 5 wa a pè kan ní grass to grace millionaires G to G mi ò mọ̀ bóyá ẹni iṣẹ́ rí yẹn náà ibẹ̀ láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ òun ló ṣokùnfà tá à ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ tó ti ń ṣe tó ti kàwé tó ti kàwé gboyè tó ń ríṣẹ́ ṣe èmi ò mọ̀ wọ́n rí àárín wọn rí kò sí tó orí ayélujára ẹni kì í ṣe pé mọ̀mí mọ̀ ẹ́ la fi ṣe rárá o ṣùgbọ́n Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ gbà fún wa a rí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní Ọlọ́run jẹ́ ká lè lọ́wọ́ síbẹ̀ a lè túbọ̀ wọn máa ṣe lọ ní Ọlọ́run fún wa láti dáhùn béèrè yín ẹ ṣé o.
Gentlemen of the press, what Abike Jagaban, the long and short of what she wanted to say is that in addition to this educational trust fund, should KBC have it in mind to also come up with a trust fund taking care of the employment trust fund, which I believe Baba has perfectly answered. Of course, that will come. This will mark the end of this brief short event. I did mention earlier that this is not the first time we are having programs that will take care of the youth. As Kabisha has already mentioned, we just did one recently, about 2 days ago, which is mentioned as G2G. We have thousands of beneficiaries on our various scholarship schemes. We have scholarship schemes that take care of primary schools. We have those that take care of secondary, and even the same tertiary institutions that we are focusing now. I can see a lady seated there who is also a beneficiary of KBC's educational benevolence. She is not an official beneficiary of our program. We have so many people who are also beneficiary of unofficial, educational support. She's a living witness. Recently, she wrote to us that she wanted to pay her school fees to be able to graduate from the university. I immediately saw the letter. KBC asked us to put her really on the scholarship so that we begin to take care of her officially. But because she's already leaving the school, KBC has no need for it. She only needs, 150,000 naira to offset. And KBC instructed that we pay her immediately. And that's why she has come here to say thank you to KBC. So you have a lot, thousands of beneficiaries like that who are not even on the list of the official,
Kó lọ dúpẹ́ fún kò ìgbà. Àwọn tá a sọ rèé o.
So this is just a representation of his, passionate interest in taking care of the youth. He will stop at nothing when it comes to the matters of the youth. If KBC is resting or sleeping, nobody dares to go and wake him up. But one joker that you can use is when you take a matter of the youth to him. Please appreciate him. Of course, it's a strength.
Like you did today.
But some of us are already abusing that because we have known that to be a kind of weak point of KBC. So even if it's not a youth matter, we say KBC, we want to take about 10 headers to KBC. We now inject, a number of 2 youths. So we go to KBC. That matter is a youth. Because you know that by the time he hears even if he's already sleeping, we do okay, youth, okay, let me go and. So he's our king. We thank God Almighty for giving us such a wonderful father, a father that the whole day, it's not enough for all of us to talk about him. We just keep praying for his long life, good health on the throne, and more great achievements. He is there for us anytime. He's not ready to be tired. Even though the nature calls for resting at times, but he's not ready to be tired. And he has been spending his own money. In most cases, yes, here and there he could get some support, but I can tell you largely he has been spending his money. Where he gets the money from? A sitting governor once asked him that, where does this man get money? I say, Oga, at me I don't know. Only that anytime me I need money, I go to him and he gives me. Where he gets the money from, I don't know. Really, and I'm not joking. And I'm not joking. I won't say a lot of things that are already in the public domain as regard how he collapsed his business empire, while he was coming to this place. And in the last 5 years, you now be wondering that this man that, jettison is multi-billion naira business just to come and serve the people. Then how has he been surviving? It is God. It is God. The ancestors have always stood by him, and I pray and I wish that he will never leave him.
Amen.
On this note, gentlemen of the press, and with permission of Kabis, we have come to the end of this short event. Thank you very much. Kabis, like normally does, has asked me to thank you for always honoring his word, even on several occasions at short notice. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sorry.
Paper here. Sorry, can I have that?
Thank you. Allow me. You made that. Oh, really?
What the program is all about.
This gentleman,
Thank you.
He has been your beneficiary of your.
Yeah. What on God? Where's my phone? I dropped it. So that's it. What on God? Thank you, everybody.
We have got to trouble Kabisi today.
Me, mo kàn ṣe program. Mo kò bá wọn lẹ́nu ẹ̀ ni. I didn't realize because I tried lobby con. Anyway, thank you so very much, everybody, for being a part of this chat. It was an impromptu. I wasn't prepared for it, as I just walked into the palace to see him, and then I met him on the interview, and I just felt it would be a good opportunity for all of us to hear the plans he has for the future. The future plans he has for the youth. So, which is very, very impressive. Hopefully, and very soon, we'll be getting, the best of him, with that very plan he just told us. Lágbára Ọlọ́run ló wá fún wọn lẹ́mìí àti ẹ̀mí gígùn àti àlàáfíà láti lè ṣe nǹkan ìlérí tí wọ́n ṣe fún àwọn ọ̀dọ́. Wọ́n ti ṣe rẹpẹtẹ náà, but adúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run pé eléyìí tán gbé kalẹ̀ yìí ètò ńlá gbáà ni, whereby wọ́n á fáwọn ọ̀dọ́ ní nǹkan tó ń pè ní education. And the point I made is a very important one, is lack of employment. We really need to work on that. We need more opportunities for the youth to get a job. So I hope I have done you youth proud there. It's no matter of just going into education full time, but then the ones that have been educated, they need a job. We need to put an end to the lack of employment that is in this system. That is why we are having increase in armed robbery, increase in a whole lot of corrupted sector, because there is no good job that will fetch them daily income. So if they can work on this, if they can create a trust fund to create a job for the less privileged and also the educated, the already educated youth. There are so many people that have finished in Nigeria university that haven't gotten a job in the last 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years. And it's not easy to be self-employed if you don't have huge cash, to project that. If you don't have huge cash, it depends on money. It's all on, capital basis. So if you don't have huge capital to set yourself up, how do you get self-employed when you don't have money to set up the business? So that's the point I made there, that the ones that have been educated needs a job before we start putting so many others into education again. So I hope you guys are happy with that point. Thank you so very much. We're not allowed to be reading out. The questions you guys are putting out there, because they only gave us limited opportunity to throw the question. They selected 3 or 4. It was just luck that I'm here. That's why I threw my hand, and to the glory of God, He answered us very well as expected. So I would like to say a very big thank you to all of you for now. If there's anything important and I'm online, I will sure call you guys. Kabis is calling me. So I will come here. Hello. Kabis. Kabis, I have. Kabis, I have.
Okay.
You need to head that.